Isaiah 46. The power of the Lord and the weakness of idols. Baal bows down, Nebo stoops. Their idols were on the beast and on the cattle. Your carriages were heavily loaded, a burden to the weary beast. They stoop, they bow down together. They could not deliver the burden, but have themselves gone into captivity. The constructed persona of your ego cannot hold the weight of truth. Who you were before you came into the Spirit cannot hold who you are now. That is why the old you must pass away. For it is pride that lends us to compare ourselves to a past version of ourselves and to our brothers, because who we see as the people standing beside us is merely a fabrication, a construct made within a mortal man's mind, an image, an idol. To judge yourself based on your own self-ego constructed persona is idolatry. Because the essence of idolatry is worshiping that which God has created and not worshiping God Himself. For in you dwells the Spirit of God. That is where your power lays, not within the puppet master, not within the mind. The mind can only deceive, not purposefully so, but it does all the same. Your image of other people, your construction, your idol that you have made onto them that personifies all their traits is simply a statue, an inanimate object. For the only thing that can breathe life into a creation is the breath and life of God Himself, that which is in you. And are you God? Can you create a persona of your brother, of your sister, of your mother, of your father, and breathe life into it yourself? You cannot. Therefore, how can you judge? How can you say that they are beholden to a law or a standard that which you have placed upon them when you know not their origin and you know not their purpose? Keep the same attitude for yourself. For pride lends us to comparison, and comparison lends us to making false idols. And when you make an idol, a straw man of someone, you destroy who they really are and destroy any chance you have of really understanding them and the creation within. For God commands us to judge not, for we will be judged by the same standard, and so it is best not to judge at all. In our pride, we attempt to construct a world in which we are superior to other people. But in reality, all of us come from the same water of life. So therefore, if you wish to be like Christ, if you wish to be like God, you must see things the way God sees it, as all merely your brother and sister, child in arm. Love that is without circumstance, unconditional, no matter what. Because who needs to love more? The people who do you right or the people who do you wrong? Do you go into the house of the fit and bring a doctor onto those who are already healthy? Or do you go into the house of the ill with a doctor, seeking to make change and seeking to heal? For your enemy is who needs your love, attention, and desire the most, to change and bring the Spirit of the Lord onto them. Those who you have considered disdainful, those who you in the past have considered beneath yourself, those are the people that need your help the most. Those are the people you should be pouring your life into. Because who else, at the end of the day, could help them but those that possess the Spirit of the one true God? And in judging them in the beginning as your enemy or as disdainful is once again just representing their straw man, false icon, persona overlay, the virtual avatar, that which is not evident of their true spirit. For each man and each woman is born into different circumstance and will die in different circumstance, but all return to the Lord, such as yourself. From whence they came is whence they that will go, and where they go is whence they came. The same narrow path that leads to heaven is the same narrow path you took into this place. The same door that is open is the same door it cannot be shut. The same soul that inhabits you is the same soul that inhabits all men and all women. God does not forget a single one of his children. He will make haste to save each and every one of us in each and every one of the circumstances that we find ourselves in. So if you wish to be like God, if you wish to personify that attitude, you must take people in which the form you find them and treat them as if they have always been your child. And that is the only way to truly heal someone on a spiritual level. That undying kindness, that undying love burns away the corruption of trauma, the lies and the betrayal and the murder and the violence and the pain and the death. All that darkness that has swelled up in the spirit of man can only be destroyed by the unconditional love of God. There is no other way. So set aside your idols, such as I have to do. I struggle with this, especially with myself. I must understand that who I am and who I think I am is not how God sees myself. So I must treat myself accordingly. Even when it seems I am my own enemy, I must still love who I am and proceed to heal and treat it as if I were my own child. For only then is the mind under your command, when you do not relent to the endless negativity, the endless entrapment. Each and every day that you wake up is an opportunity for you to change who you were before. For the essence that is in you, the Spirit of the Lord, can burn up any past iniquity, any past sin, and that is without exception. At any moment you can decide to come to the Lord, and you can change yourself into a better person, and thus you change the world. For what is the world but the external, outward representation of your inward self? And if you change the inward self, you change the outside. And so if you truly wish to help your fellow man, if you truly wish to help the world and follow the purpose given to you by God, then listen to your inward self, not to the mind, not to the persona, but listen to that quiet voice that speaks when all other things are quiet. Listen to the Lord. For what time has the Lord abandoned you? For what time has the Lord said, no, I shall not help. No, I shall not love you. It's never been so. The Lord has loved you since the beginning of time, and he will love you past the end of it. So you must love your enemy. So you must love yourself. You cannot contend with the iniquity that has been produced in this place alone. Only God can solve that for you, so give it up to him. There is no way a mortal man can fix the things that have happened. Only your spirit, only the God within you can do so. So let go. Let go of every single string that has attached you to this place, and see it the way God does, so that you may create a new heaven and a new earth here while you're still alive. How can you inhabit a new place if you are still the same as you were before? How can you love yourself if you do not love God? Any obstacle that is in your path during this process shall be erased, shall be destroyed. This is God's promise to us. And this is the promise you must make to yourself. That any past relationships, any past versions of yourself that you still hold on to, let them burn up now. Let them be destroyed now, not later. Let it be done with in this very instant. For when Jesus got into a boat with two men, it was not an hour later they had crossed to the other side of the shore. It was not a day later. It wasn't a minute later. It was the instant. It was the instant that Christ came into the grouping of the men that they were on the other side of the shore. And so it is with you. The instant that you let God in, at that very moment, you shall reach the end of your journey and the beginning of a new life. God bless. Thank you.